Alright, so this is the work in progress rescue helicopter. I'm probably not going to finish it, so I will just introduce you to the systems and show and tell you what is missing. So in case you're interested in finishing this for yourself and uploading it to the workshop again, feel free to do that. I think it's a cool helicopter and it deserves to be finished. So first of all, you got the hatch in the rear. That is working pretty well. You got an area that is set up with medical beds, nothing important, a lot of equipment up there. Then you have the cockpit in front. Over here is the winch. It has an automatic feature, so you can control it either from here, or if you're sitting inside the harness, you can control it from the harness. It has a special feature, but it will pull you in. So if you press 1, it's gonna pull you up and then drag you inside the helicopter. This can also be, like this function can also be called from up here, which is exactly the same. The cockpit works quite easy. I didn't care too much about the seat, so you only have this seat that is working right now. You first enable the monitors. You activate the engines and select the throttle. Right now it's just standby mode, so it's gonna take a while to start up, and we'll leave it like that. You have the battery set up over here. Right now we have the main battery active, which means it's being being drained quite fast. If that would be the case, you can activate the backup battery. It's automatically loading the battery and keeping track of that. We have a separate battery, so you have the main battery, the backup battery, the separate battery for the engine starters. The batteries are loaded again automatically, and they're only connected to the engine starters, which means they're only getting drained when you actually start the engine. So you will never run out of power. Here is the fuel shown, the total amount of liters, the time left, which is too much now for the label to handle it. You can fly roughly 1 hour with this and at full speed, and the distance, and that is just the fuel tanks. Here's some lights for the outside. I'm gonna show that soon. Status for the right engine and the left engine, whatever. The main control panel, those are instruments that are not used. These ones, you can add more stuff here. Artificial horizon, attitude indicator, the compass, the speed, airspeed, altitude, and the camera for the winch. That is just a camera that is showing the ground. Now the important thing is those HUDs. You have those 3 HUDs, or those 2 HUDs, and then the monitor, and you can cycle through through different views. Each of them access exactly the same views. So if you switch to the horizontal LiDAR on both ones, and if I activate it, here, that is like the most important monitor here. So this one only accepts the touchscreen, this one will not. If I select a different screen here, this one will accept the touchscreen again. Let's just close the door, or our leader will have some problems. Oops. So, this thing is the horizontal LiDAR. As you can see, it shows, well, mainly the gears as of right now, and a different sensor, the vertical LiDAR. Let's just bring this thing into the air, activate auto hover. All right. These are the gears indicators. They light up green if they're in the correct position, or red if they're somehow stuck. And now you can see we don't see the gears anymore on the horizontal LiDAR. That's the one that is spinning right now. If we fly towards the building, can see that you now get the building indicated in the front. Even when we turn, it's still accurate. Let's just go more there. So we see the corner. Okay, so you can see it detects the corner of this hangar. You can adjust the distance. And that is, yeah, working and is a finished feature. The next thing is the 3D LiDAR. If you activate it, oops, okay, sorry. Let's do it like this. What it is doing is it's looking downwards, that's the thing in the rear. It's doing this weird movement, and it's scanning the ground below you. And is then showing the ground, showing that ground in kind of a colored plane. Those grid lines, if I just fly a little bit more behind. Right. So if you're too high up, you will see nothing, of course, because we have set the distance to 40 meters, the maximum distance, and we are 43 meters high. Now, as soon as I start to approach the ground, you can see that now the ground is being rendered slowly. And you can also see, if I drop further down, that it starts to detect the hangar in the front. And this hangar will, let me just make it night, so you can see the HUD better. It's starting to make the HUD, to make those, this area look red, yellowish, and also green, reddish at some point. So that means you can easily see that there's something below and in front of you. Those grid lines just are there so you can more easily spot it. The radar is something that is not completed yet, and it's buggy. So the radar is sitting up here. It's very hard to program the radar when you have this tilting and things. So I guess you just redo that one from the ground up. There's a radar microcontroller with a screen output. Just have a look at that. Then we have a beacon. Right now we have no beacon, so you would need to refactor that so it's detecting it when there is no beacon close. But we can just spawn in a beacon in a second. Just land here. Turn on the engines. Of course, the engine or the helicopter can fly with only one engine. The second one is just as backup for safety, or if you carry something that is very heavy. Yeah, what you might also need to add is a autopilot feature. There is nothing like autopilot. The only thing is the auto hover from the default gyro. So you would need to add that as well if you want that. There we go. That's the beacon that is sending. Let's go back to the helicopter. The only thing that you have right now in terms of a map is the recent flight path. I'm gonna show that in a second. Help, game. It just records the last, I think it's 10 minutes of your flight path, and it will show it to you. Oh, we lost some rotor blades. And it will show it to you on the map together with the altitude. Oops. We could repair that, but I'm just gonna do that now. That would be this map here. So let's just start again. Activate the beacon locator. Alright. So you can see now the path that we were flying is a little bit colored. That is because the color indicates the altitude. If it's more red, then it means you're flying low. If it's more green, it means you're flying high. I think the maximum altitude is set to 1000 meter. So 1000 meter would be straight green, and everything above would be straight green as well. It's made so that lower altitudes are better to see. It's like a exponential function, but you can see that yourself. If you want to, I'm gonna just switch to the beacon locator now and make it darker again. If you want to find the beacons, you should fly, not really in a straight line. It's the best if you just fly in some more or less circular way, not always straight. And you will see the distance to the beacon. You will see a place where it probably is with a probability. You can see it's jumping around between two positions right now. That's okay. If it's jumping between two positions, you should just fly more or less in the direction between them, in the center between them. But it's very important that you just continue flying. You keep the system keeps recording the beacons depending on your position. So if you don't fly, it's gonna not work out. If you keep on flying, it's gonna work out pretty good. Don't always turn on every time the dot changes. Just keep on flying in a straight line, and it will get more precise and more precise every time. And the distance always tells you if you're in the end. You can just check and confirm that you're actually flying into the correct direction. But as I said, just keep on flying, keep on flying, keep on flying. We now see that it's sometimes on the left, most of the time it's on the right on that island with 100% chance. So we just take a guess that it's there. We could also take a guess that it's on the left, and then that means you just fly there and see if the dot stays there. If it doesn't, then that was the wrong spot. But in this case, as you can see now, we did fly quite a long time. We gathered a lot of measurements, and now it's pretty sure that the beacon is somewhere here. If the beacon is getting very close, I think less than 300 meter or 500 meter, it's gonna tell us beacon is very close, because then you have to just look with your eyes. There we go, beacon close. Outer hover is on. Let's show you the lights. You have the navigation lights, strobe white, lights landing, and the red lights. Red lights is just if you're sitting there on the ground, starting the engines, doing nothing. Landing lights are in the front. One is looking a little bit more down, one is looking forward. That is for, you even have a cam here, but you cannot see it. The gimbal in the front, the gimbal camera, is also not connected yet, so that would be a task for you to do. And that is pretty much it. Oh yeah, and of course a map that is like zoomable and draggable. That would of course also be your job. I think that is pretty much it about it. I think it's a very nice helicopter. I already said that. And let's just get some more lights here and show you again the automatic pull in. I guess if you want, you can enhance it so that you can alone, like on yourself, go down with the helicopter, like with the winch. Pick up leave the winch, pick up an NPC, put it into the winch, have like a button here that pulls up the person, pulls it into the helicopter if you want to do that. Let's not just not touch everything. Try the pull in mechanism. Pulls you all up. You should I should have extended the arm, but it also works without extending the arm. And then it grabs me, will pull me in, and okay, I'm not moving enough, unfortunately. Just try it again. Extend the arm. And try the pulling in again. There we go. And you're inside. So there is no risk of falling down when trying to escape the harness. That's it from me. I hope you will enjoy this helicopter and have fun playing Stormworks. Bye bye.